Welcome to the opposition. Fulham fans, this show is all about you. We're at Q Sports Bar in Boscombe, and this venue is about a 10-minute walk from Folkestone train station and a 10-minute walk to the Vitality Stadium. That means it's a place for you. This is exclusive for away fans. So Fulham fans, if you've got plans, change them. Come here before the game. This is part one of a double-headed preview here on Back of the Net. The next instalment is coming out on match day as we build up to the visit of the Cottagers for a Friday night football special. Bournemouth versus Fulham, Tom.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but it feels like this fixture's rarely played on a Saturday at 3 p.m, and this is another one that's succumbed to the TV.
Yeah, I wonder why that is, but yeah, it does feel like that. You're right.
Two huge clubs, that's what it is.
Well, yeah, it must be. Yeah, it must be. It's it's a weird one. It does feel like that. I definitely remember a Friday night one before at their place. Do you remember that?
Go on, remind me.
Oh, 5-1. Promotion season,
Rings a bell.
2015. Oh, it was unbelievable. That was Friday night at Fulham. Yeah, I remember Cookie's goal, Pittman just brushing off Scott Parker. He put Scott Parker on the floor, which I know Fulham fans wouldn't have been too disheartened about. But yeah, we've had some good ones.
Though.
Yeah, he's a good gaffer. But no, we've had some good ones, haven't we? Boxing Day, we've had them on Boxing Day at home as well.
That was a Friday. Yeah, that was 2014. Did we win that?
Yeah, 2-0. Brett Pittman had a Harry Arter.
Well done.
Because Harry Arter was talking about how he had Christmas dinner with Scott Parker. I remember, that's what I remember.
And also at their place as well on December the 3rd, 2021. That was a Friday. And I think that was the Dom Solanke goal
from kickoff.
From kickoff, yeah.
Okay, yeah, 1-1.
And was it Mitro who equalised for us?
I thought it was, you might be right, or was it not Adebayo?
No, that's no fun and fans in the comments. But sure. I remember that season, and Sammy James from Fulhamish was doing his bit, representing Mitro, but Tom was asked to sing Dom Solanke's praises in the PFA Championship Player of the Season, and you had to
talk about
how Dom was a better player than Alexander, which was a difficult job, wasn't it?
Very difficult, because Mitrovic scored about 65 goals that season, was ridiculous, but I had to try and plug him. I thought I'd done okay, tried to say that he gave more to the team. That Mitrovic deserved it, obviously.
Yeah. But he did a good job. So look, as we have a look at the league table right now, if you're listening to this, don't worry, I can talk you through it, because Bournemouth are in the lofty heights of 6th, whereas Fulham are 11. But I've got to say, Tom, you probably just know that at the end of the season, our teams will probably be somewhat close, because we have been, and we've been on this journey together, which means that it's not a love-in, but there's a fair bit of mutual respect between both clubs, and also because we've both also kept our managers who, let's face it, are our key assets for both club, and only for us, Marco Silva.
Yeah, like you say, because we seem like, it feels like we're the clubs that get forgotten. We've spoke to Sammy enough from Fulhamish, and the amount of times we've gone to like Premier League things with him, and Bournemouth and Fulham chat is about 30 seconds. And it's like we're the ones that have forgotten about it a little bit. And we're both trying to bridge that gap of being like best of the rest a little bit. So there's that synergy there. I think also, a little bit light-hearted, but we both experienced the Scott Parker of the kind of, this is really good. And then, oh my God, I'm so bored.
They warned us.
And they did warn. And it was,
they warned Burnley fans.
Yeah, they literally said to us.
Burnley fans were warned the next one.
We were singing, "We've got Super Scotty Parker." And Fulham were going, wait. Just wait. And they were right. And we actually did the same with Wolves with Gary O'Neill, didn't we? Just shows that no one knows about your football club as much as you and what you're watching. And so it does feel like both clubs have kind of been very, very similar, and you always feel like they won't be too far apart once the end of the season comes. And
we're clubs that have disproven the myth, and this season's promotees, if that's a word, have also shown that so far as well. And Burnley are close to the relegation zone, but none of them are in there right this second. I don't think Burnley might be now.
I think, Burnley are close to it, aren't they? I can't remember. I think they might have just dropped in because they got the batter of the Man City.
However,
but they're all much more competitive.
But teams like us, teams like also Forest, of course, like Fulham, have helped to disprove the myth. And I think Fulham are a little bit like us. Maybe first season back, second season, they might have been looking over their shoulder a little bit. Now, I don't think, I didn't for the first time this season in a long time. Been looking over my shoulder thinking, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't think, and there was probably, we'll probably speak about it more in the next show when we focus on ourselves a bit more, but there was probably a little bit of when we started losing some key players of people going, could Bournemouth struggle with that? But in general, I don't think Fulham and Bournemouth are ever really talked about in relegation terms, yet they always talk about how the teams who come up go straight down. But what about us? We haven't been up that long
no.
For the second time round. But I think, again, it just goes back to the fact that of good coaching coaches, mate. Top coaches.
So Marco Silva has become Fulham's longest-serving manager since Chris Coleman. He was at the club in April 2003 to 2007. Silva joined Fulham in 2021, so fair play to him. And he's had chances to go by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Was it like Saudi or somewhere, or maybe UAE or something?
Yeah.
There were rumours that he might be going.
Yeah.
And there are a few sound bites, even from him, that suggested that he might, but he hasn't. I don't know about you, but maybe Fulham fans feel the same. Whenever Ruben Amorim from Man United has a bit of a blip, I'm a bit nervous, and Fulham fans might be the same with someone like him, because they are highly sought after managers. Yeah,
I think at the moment, if that were to happen, hypothetically, I think Glasner would be ahead of both of them. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
He's got the silverware?
Yeah, maybe he's obviously, I mean, Marcus Silva's managed a lot of other places as well, but I don't know, his stock just seems really high at the moment, doesn't it? Which is probably good for us in that sense. But yeah, you're right, mate, and I think it's probably a little bit disrespectful to the players themselves, but I think Fulham will agree that the only way Bournemouth and Fulham get talked about in relegation terms again is when one of these managers goes. Yeah. Because I go, oh, what will they do now? Because the coach is so good. But I think with Marco Silva as well, I think what they've probably benefiting from is, I don't know if you remember when Marco Silva was doing really well at Watford. Yeah. And then he tried Everton.
And he actually won his first away Premier League match at Bournemouth as Everton boss.
So, but it didn't quite work from there. So I wonder if that almost helps them, that he thinks, actually, I'm in a really good setup here. Things are going well. You know, I'm loved here. We're going in the right direction. Things are going okay. And he got burnt before. So that might help them in that sense. Whereas maybe we haven't had that with Andoni, which would worry me a little bit.
Do you think that we are two of the clubs in the Premier League that just seem to fly under the radar constantly? Or do you think we're rising above it a little bit because of our European flirting last season?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think they did as well.
Yeah, I think both clubs a little bit, but I think what's happened is that Forest did get Europe, so that was another team that were maybe under the radar going against it, and then Palace won the cup and got into Europe, so now they're above it. So it does feel like, it feels like us and Fulham are probably them teams that everyone just forgets and goes, oh, they're the mid-table teams.
I mean, we're always asked on the overlap, aren't we, Sammy? Always.
Well, yeah, we're asked to be there.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
It does feel like every time, I kind of briefly spoke about earlier, we'll see Sammy or a Fulham fan at these things. It ends up just, it's us and Fulham, we just have a little chat. All the other, let them not all have a chat and they all know each other. And then us and Fulham just have a little natter.
On our FAQ on our website, we have actually been asked to the overlap a few times. We don't do it anymore, and there's a reason for that. And also, it's a long way to go to speak for about 2 minutes on AFC Bournemouth anyway, isn't it?
2 minutes, I'll take that.
We're recording at Q Sports Bar in Boscombe, the place to be for pool, snooker, darts and live sport on the TV. And like we said at the top of the show, for Fulham fans, when you come down here, this place is for you on match day because it's dedicated to away supporters. Handy to get to from Folkestone, 10 minutes walk to the Vitality as well. And it's a great place to be in it, Tom.
Great place to be in, obviously, for Bournemouth fans. And actually, it's open during the week too.
And look, if you can't watch the game on Sky, why not head down here as well?
Yeah, if you're down and you kind of want to have a drink, watch the game because it's on telly, then come on down.
It's a huge Oktoberfest style drinking area and a big TV, but there's screens everywhere as well, by the way. So
yeah, screens absolutely everywhere. And we done it for the our summer series games, didn't we? And got some Bournemouth fans in there, and it was a really good vibe there. So yeah, definitely do it, and throw some arrows and play some pool and stuff while you're here.
Head to qsports.bar, click on the membership button at the top of the screen, click sign up, and then add in your details, including your address. You'll get a little QR code, and this will basically enable you to be a free member. You can upgrade if you want, but by the way, we've spoken to Lee here. Shall we tell him?
Go on.
So, one of the guys that owns this.
Yeah.
He's a Fulham fan.
Yeah, he is.
So there's a reason to get down here. There's going to be loads of Fulham content on the screens.
Yeah, actually, I just thought that. Oh, he's a Fulham fan. Oh, suddenly it's £3.50 Carlsbergs after the game, isn't it? Oh, is it? A little deal is there.
Drinks, yeah.
A little deal after the game.
That's it.
Drown their sorrows. Fair play.
I hope so. You can come back afterwards if you want. So yeah, it's being shown live on Sky. We've won our last 3 games against Fulham at Dean Court in the Premier League, and we're going to be hoping to make this number 4. And what I hate and like about these types of games, mate, one, it's on a Friday, so it makes or breaks the weekend. Yeah. You've got to get the win. If you don't, and it makes it worse because it's the international break as well.
It does, yeah. I like Friday nights because, especially this stage of the season, because I know for a fact if we win the football match, we're second. It might only be for a few hours. We're second. Yeah. Whereas when you play on like the Monday night, other teams will win and you will drop. So yeah, I quite like that just because we might have a little spell where we can say that.
Is the game going to be on though, Tom?
Oh God,
Hurricane
not
Humberto.
But we don't normally have problems with wind and calling games off.
Us Forest fans, that.
Yeah.
Hurricane Humberto is coming in from
Humberto.
America, but apparently it's going to affect Scotland a little bit more than what it is over here. I think we're caught between a couple of fronts, cold front, warm front, whatever. So Storm Amy, as it's going to be over here, might be.
Oh, so that means it's the first one then?
Yeah,
it does alphabetical, doesn't it?
What it does. It could be an interesting one. We'll have to keep an eye on the weather. We've turned into Michael Fish, mate. What's going on?
Hurricane Humberto. I swear we've been linked with Humberto. It just sounds like a wigger we've been linked with.
We're in for a stiff test though against a side that has been look, they've been all right, but I would say not fully firing. Would you say that's maybe fair? I mean, there's some good results in there, and there are some other ones they'll be maybe disappointed by.
Yeah, a couple of draws early in the season against both Brighton and Man United that you feel like on another day they could have nicked them. But equally, later on, they ended up getting that late one against Leeds, didn't they? Yeah. Which they deserved, but it was very late. Late goal against Leeds is always nice. They would have been disappointed with the Chelsea one because I think they're better than they showed on the day. Beating Brentford was obviously a good result. They'd done all right in the Cups. And then the Villa one was a weird one because I watched that game, obviously their most recent game.
Farcical, was it?
Oh, it was ridiculous, as usual. But you've seen them, haven't you? There was the Josh King one that he got done for diving, I wasn't sure. And then the handball, which I don't know the rule anymore, that hits Cash on. To me, I thought it was going to be given. It wasn't. So there was a few decisions that went against them, but they took the lead in the game, and I just felt like they were going to kick on from there. That Villa on a bad run. They look really good. I like the look of Josh King. He looks a really exciting player. Could be one that gets in the England squad very soon, in my opinion. He looks really impressive. But they just seem to just after half time, just let Villa back into it.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that coming. So they would have been disappointed with their second half performance. There was a few players in there that I like. So Lukic and Sander Berge, who are normally really good, didn't look right. Just didn't think they didn't boss the midfield like they normally do. So but there are obviously reasons for that when we come on to kind of team news and stuff. Up the top end of the pitch, they got an injury. Yes. They already had an injury because I got Muniz in my fantasy team. I had to take him out. Nightmare. But they are a weird team because they seem to be consistently inconsistent at the moment, and you're not really sure what Fulham are going to get.
Let's take a look at the average positions. If you're watching YouTube, you can see their last 4 games. In these games, Fulham appeared to be defensive, although the back line has dropped deeper in the away games. But this might be confounded, of course, by the strength of the opposition. As you can see there, Villa and Chelsea being the 2 away games. We need to also check out the transfer business, I suppose, that preceded this Premier League season starting. So for a lot of clubs around the Premier League, it was quite busy, it was quite manic. Yeah. Fulham's was a little bit more controlled. I mean, there wasn't this churn that there was. So players leaving, not many. Not many.
I think Pereira was the big one, wasn't it? Because he feels like he's been there for a while anyway.
Where did
he went to Palmeiras. I think it was in Brazil. He is Brazilian, isn't he? But when he went, I thought, he was quite a regular for him. When they didn't replace him, I was a bit, but then Josh King, maybe they saw this coming. So he kept around. Obviously, Reece Nelson went back and then he ended up going elsewhere anyway. And Willian left, who was obviously good for him, but obviously getting older. But there was nothing torn apart. Obviously, we lost a lot, but then replaced a lot. Didn't do a lot. Chukwueze, I saw come on. He's on loan from AC Milan. Come on briefly against Villa and thought, he looked like he gave him a little bit of a spark, but obviously haven't seen a lot of him. And Kevin, they're excited. I can see why they're excited about him. He was the big signing from Shakhtar.
Been a bit hit and miss so far by the sounds of it.
He's one of them that feels like
it's getting used to the Premier League.
Yeah, and he's definitely one that will get you off your seat. Really exciting, but is there that end product?
Was it 40 million euros?
Yeah, so I think he's one that we've got a similar one in. We were saying Adley that we've brought in. Looks like someone that can really get us off our seats, but is he going to get the numbers, with them, that kind of final bit? But so probably better to get them before maybe they kick on from that and get used to it a little bit more.
So our head-to-head record then, let's check it out. We're just going to do the games this century.
Okay, not too bad
So, it's actually not a bad record. There are a couple of L's in there, but there have been some memorable games. We've had a couple of 3-0s against them. I really like that 3-0 at their place. I think David Brooks.
Yeah, when I think of that game, I think of Brooksy.
Yeah.
He had a really good game.
Did Callum Wilson score?
Yeah, it might have been Callum as well. Yeah, we really, really played well in that game. I remember that one. Yeah, 3-0 away from home.
In all our league games, at home against Fulham, Bournemouth have won 11, drawn 4, lost 3. We've actually got a pretty good record, really, overall. This is home and away in all competitions. Won 16, drawn 13, lost 12. Now, at the bottom of those head-to-head stats, you'll have seen what happened last time. Can you remember the number of seconds that Semenyo scored in, mate?
No, go on.
I think it was about 53 or something. It was a early goal, wasn't it?
I remember it being early. I didn't realise it was that early.
It was so early because it was a game that was on Monday Night Football, was it? I think it was Monday Night Football. It was certainly live on Sky.
Yeah.
I think their left back was that Anthony Robinson actually?
I think it might have been. Yeah.
He sort of got the ball tangled under his feet.
Yes,
Semenyo won the ball back and then just moved into the pitch and then caressed it with his left foot into the. And I think Evan Nilsson hit the bar in front of the Ted Mack. They had a couple of chances, like Sessegnon had a header in front of the North Stand that should have been a lot better. But we hung on. It's
so weird that, isn't it? When there's a goal scored that early, you always feel like, it's going to be loads of goals. Yeah, and it never happens. We've had a few this season already.
That's why I can't stand it when you're watching a game on TV that as a neutral that you really love, and like teams like, I don't know, like when Newcastle did it against Spurs the other season, they were 5-0 up at half time.
You know nothing was happening in the second half.
And then it ended 6-1.
Yeah.
Like, you just want it to be like 10-0 or something.
The only caveat was us at Anfield, wasn't it? 9-0. Scott Parker was in charge.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. Let's check out the injury news at the moment, and they've got a bit of a crisis up front, have they?
Yeah, it was obviously Muniz was out, and I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but it looks like this one might come too soon for him, which is obviously good for us, not for him, or Fulham. But then obviously you think, they've got Raul Jimenez, and then I think he got injured scoring the goal against Villa. And it looks like they might try a late fitness test, but for me it sounds like at best he might be able to come on for a bit.
So there might just be one Jimenez on the pitch.
And there we go, yeah, because we've got Jimenez as well. I saw that.
We'll do teams tomorrow.
I saw Jimenez late fitness. I thought, what's happened to him? And I realised they've got Jimenez, haven't they? But and Kelly Tete, I think, still out, who's a decent player as well. But Castagna comes in and done a good job at Villa, I thought. But yeah, they're going to... So it might be one of them things where they have to play kind of almost a false nine, like kind of a wide... So I'm going to give it a go. But against Villa, they used Adama Traore out there, and I didn't think it quite worked.
Interesting. Well, look, they are maybe more physical than they used to be. They've conceded more fouls than any other Premier League side this season. 25% of those have been committed by Sasa
Lukic, honestly. If I ever do have a little bit of a, look at kind of a bet on a game, and I think
Bet365, mate, that's what you need.
Yeah, if I go on something like that, I just go Sasa Lukic fouls. He makes so many fouls.
3.7 fouls conceded per 90 minutes, which is absolutely mad. Yeah. The most since Hal Robson-Kanu.
What?
In the 16th.
What did you think of Wales, Belgium?
Yeah,
the turn. Yeah, that's what I thought.
What a shot. And yeah, speaking about Jimenez, big miss because he scored 5 Premier League goals in 6 starts against Bournemouth, 4 for Wolves. Yeah. One of them being...
I always remember him being a nightmare at Wolves.
Absolutely.
And actually, Adama Traore.
Yeah.
I remember when they were both at Wolves, you'd have Adama Traore down the wing, cross into Jimenez. It was a nightmare.
I remember the one game we faced against Traore in COVID.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I'm sure he put a ball in and Jimenez headed it in. I'm sure he did. But yeah, they were always... So selfishly, I would be quite happy not to see him.
Hey, there's some big stadium news that has been announced. So you want to hear it from back of the net, right? There's a couple of things you can do to find that out on the next show.
Yeah, click the bell and then he'll tell you when that's out. Click the like if you like it so much, of course, and then hit subscribe as well. We'd really appreciate it.
Right, Tom, you're not done because you've got to do the teams now.
Oh, yeah, I'll give it a go.
Right then, we got them in a 4-2-3-1. Right, what are you going for then, Thomas?
Yeah, so definitely Leno in goal. I reckon he might get some stick, by the way. Do you remember? He was all joking, but do you remember him pushing our ball boy?
Oh yeah,
because he wanted to get the ball back quick.
Remember?
Yeah, I will. I'm behind the goal. Nah, he's a top goalkeeper. I always say that. I think both clubs, we said about the coaches, I think we've both got really good goalkeepers as well. As I said, I think Castagna will stay in at right back. Anderson and Bassi centre backs. I'm going to chuck Robinson, and they've been playing Sessegnon there.
Okay.
I just think it may be now Robinson might come back into the side because obviously he had a knock and stuff, but he come on. I didn't think Sessegnon had the best game against Villa, so I reckon Robinson might come back in. I'm going to stick with Sander Berge and Sasa Lukic in the middle. Harry Wilson, he might get a little bit of stick.
Oh yeah, he will.
But honestly, I've said it. I've changed on him because he was so bad for us. He scored a few worldies. He didn't have a good season when he was with us, and then he just seems to have gone to another level now.
Yeah.
I think he looks brilliant. So I think he'll probably be off the right. Iwobi, I'm going to stick with off the left. Josh King, kind of in that 10 role, and I'm going to just chuck Kevin up front. I just think if they're going to try someone up there, this is obviously assuming that both strikers don't make the late fitness test. I'm not sure if they'll go Traore again. They've obviously got Smith Rowe they could do. I wonder if they'll just chuck Kevin in there and see how he gets on, and then have the option maybe of a Jimenez or Traore off the bench. But that's what I'm going to go with, mate.
Can I shock you?
Go on.
I like Harry Wilson.
Why?
I actually like him.
Why?
I think he's been brilliant for him. I think he's such a good player.
Well, for us, was he?
But no,
why do you like him then?
I think he's all right.
He did give us that penalty that time. Our first penalty in like 10 years or something. It was for Wilson, wasn't it?
Do you want to know who's in charge? No, you don't, but I'm going to tell you. Simon Hooper.
What does
We've
that
had him
mean?
once this season, mate. Spurs away.
I'm kicking, 1-0 win. Did anything happen in that game? No, we just battered them, didn't we?
Just absolutely.
Yeah, but I'll take it, mate. 100% record. Take it.
100% record. Remember, Fulham fans, that you need to get to Q Sports Bar. Check all the details in the description, and we'll pop a pinned comment on there as well. We'll echo it on our socials as well. Look, do you want our predictions? Hold your horses. Oh. There's going to be a video coming out, or if you listen to the pod, just stay where you are, and that is going to say what we think about the game. But have you got confident vibes?
Yeah, quietly.
All right, have the chairs. Come on, you Reds. Let's do this.
Why do you like Harry Wilson?
I think he's all right.
Have you just said that?
Yeah, just to get him on side.
Yeah, good shot.